Hello and welcome to Soap Secrets. Claire Ruck, our resident expert, joins me today. Hi Claire.
Hi Hannah.
Right, we're going to talk about Casualty. So with Casualty, Casualty's had some really, really brilliant storylines and a lot going on, but this week sort of tackling something a bit different.
Yes, we've got a couple of things going on. First of all, we see something about Sar, the intensely private paramedic, and Teddy's lovely, but he's always nibbling at Sar, trying to get information out about their private life. And this week, painful memories come back to haunt Sar when treating patient Bill. And Bill is played by Dempsey and Makepeace star Michael Brandon.
Oh, a bit of a heartthrob in the 80s.
He was a bit of a heartthrob. So here he is picking up a little bit of work. He was massive in the 80s, but Dempsey Makepeace was all over the place. So, Bill knew Sar's father Kevin and reveals that he was in rehab, which piques Teddy's curiosity. And we know what Teddy's like. He's always, he's lovely and friendly, but, Sar's always... They always stand a bit back from Teddy and, he's trying to break down Sar's walls. Sar shuts Teddy down, but what is Sar hiding? Now, this is quite interesting because they make a decision and it does impact on Bill. There are two storylines this week, Hannah, that kind of come together. So we have Faith is distraught when her young son Luka is kidnapped. I think Casualty did this really, really well, and so I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. But so Faith forgets to text her mum to get her mum to pick Luka up from football training. Hannah,
right?
So. The coach was very naughty because everyone drives off. All the kids get into the cars and just Luca's just left standing in the car park on his own. It's really quite spooky and scary. And then we see another car sitting there and we see this guy watching him, and this is done so well. Because this guy comes over and says, has your mum not come to pick you up? And, Luka says, I'm not allowed to talk to strangers. He does all the stuff, you've taught your son to do, your children to do. And this Darren guy, he says, that's fine. That's a really good response. I'm a local coach and I'm scouting. Did the coach not wait to make sure your mum picked you up? And then he gives him bus fare money and all of this kind of stuff for the bus. And so he's really pulled quite back. So Luka doesn't feel... He doesn't feel stressed or
threatened.
No, he doesn't, because this guy doesn't seem to want to get him into the car and saying the bus stops that way, it's raining, and then he offers to take him to the bus stop in the car.
Oh no.
So
we can see where this is going.
Yes, so her son has been kidnapped, and it is really, really well done, and it all impacts into Bill. It's just an amazing... They did this really, really, really well.
Yeah, it's... I quite like the fact that Casualty's doing something a bit different, because we've sort of been done... Well, they've had some great storylines, but this is something different again, isn't it? Poor Faith. Now, Holby, because there's lots to talk about in Holby, because, of course, we are coming to the end. We say this every week. Now... Countless lives this week are on the line, because when Nikki opens a mysterious black envelope, it contains a sinister white powder.
Yes, it does. This is an amazing episode. I was blown away by it.
They're bringing out the big guns, aren't they, at the end here?
You're quite right. I've not had consistent episodes like this for a long time, and this one was really good, and they have an absolutely stonking two-hander between Jack and Nikki. So we open this, the episode with Nikki, and she's just sitting there as you do. As she's looking at Jack's scans. She's still trying her best to. She wants to be the person who can operate on Jack and save Jack's life. So she's pulled an all-nighter, and she picks up a coffee and her post, and she's sitting there in this operating theatre reviewing these scans, and she just opens this letter, and as she opens it, all this white powder just falls all over her scrubs, completely all over her scrubs. And then she realises it's a sympathy card, and it's saying that the white powder is anthrax, Hannah.
Goodness me. So it's not just her, of course, whose life is in danger, because lots of people presumably around her have been exposed to it.
Well, currently it's in the letter, and she is in the operating theatre, so that is quite a sealed place. So Jack comes in to tear off a strip, and she's standing, she's just crying, getting very stressed, and Jack raises the alarm, and Fletch declares a major incident. They move really quickly, and the whole of the operating theatre where Nikki is sealed off, with people coming in those scary things with the big, they're all covered in hazmat suits and all of that kind of stuff. And Jack very nicely stays with Nikki. I mean, she has been into the room, so I think she should anyway, because Nikki's getting upset, and she's saying, you must calm down, because the more upset you get, the deeper the breaths you take, the more you will inhale this powder, which is all over Nikki.
Oh gosh, but it's not. But I mean, firstly, who's out to get Nikki, but then there's another envelope.
Yes, there is, and that one is addressed to Hanson. Now, Hanson is in his office, which backs onto the boardroom, with Billy, Ross's daughter. And he opens a similar envelope and realises what's going on, and they isolate in the boardroom together. Now, we have in the operating theatre, we have Nikki and Jack chatting about stuff, what happens if it is anthrax, how do you die, and then they're both talking about their daughters. So Nikki's talking about Juliet, and she brings up Jack's daughter Emma. Why isn't Jack's got this brain tumour, she's dying, and she hasn't told her daughter. So this is a really good two-hander between the two of them, Hannah.
Yeah, this is huge, isn't it?
And meanwhile, back in the boardroom,
I'm gonna say there's another drama, whole new drama going on there, isn't there?
Billy, who Hanson is friends with her dad and a possible boyfriend material. We've seen that frisson develop. Hanson knows that she's pregnant, and he has been unable to get her to tell Russ that she's having a baby. And of course, last week we saw her have what she come in with pains. She's still got what she thinks Braxton Hicks when she goes, okay, my waters have just broken, or I've wet my knickers.
Oh no. Oh no! Wow. Okay. So it's like you say, there's so many things going on here. But you cried a lot, didn't you, watching this?
I did. So Billy's gone into labour, and Hanson finally just says he makes a call to Russ, who is stuck outside behind the safety tape. Your daughter's gone into labour. She's having a baby. That must be a big shock.
Shock. Yeah.
He can't get to her. No. Will they all get out alive? Will Billy be able to deliver her baby safely? Because it's just her and Hanson, her dad's friend, and he needs to be down the business end, shall we say?
No one needs to be there.
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, she needs some help. There's nobody else coming in. And then just before Nikki opened her anthrax letter, Eli had paid her a visit and left adoption papers for her consideration for little Juliet, because we know Eli and Amelia have been looking after Juliet. So what will Nikki do? She has to think very carefully. Does she want to step up and be a mum to little Juliet, or will she say yes to the adoption?
It's a very emotional episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And finally, has Madge been rumbled, because Ange picks up her phone and there's a message on it.
Oh, wow. Well, it's about time. I think she should be.
I think there's something else going on with Madge. I think there is a big reason as to why she needs money, but we're not sure what it is.
We're not sure what it is yet. Wow. It is, I mean, there's just so much going on. Holby is throwing absolutely everything at this, and it's going to make us all even more upset when it finally goes, which is just a number of weeks now, a matter of weeks. It's obviously clearly building up to something big, but we will be back next week to talk more, to find out about the baby, to find out about the anthrax, and to see who lives. Until then, have a great week.